What's up, y'all? What's going on? It's your boy DJ D Dub from the Groovement, stopping by to say what's up. It's Talk to Me Tuesdays here with your boy, the smoothest DJ, right? Shout out to Music Gets Me Through. Man, I got so much we need to talk about. But before we do, I'm going to quick check in. Let me know how y'all doing. How's your Tuesday going? Put in the comments below. Shout out to the people that's going to watch this on the replay. Love y'all, right? Y'all take the time out to, help your boy out and show some love to your boy. So I appreciate that. Man, Justin Bieber's new album. We're going to talk about that. We got to talk about that. It's called Freedom. Definitely got to talk about that. But yeah, it's Tuesday. It's another day, another beautiful day. Man, y'all talk to me. Let me know what's going on. How's your day? Put in the comments, put in the chat, shoot me a DM, whatever. Do what you got to do. It's Talk to Me Tuesdays. This episode is brought to you by the Music Gets Me Through series, right? So right now, I just got finished, earlier, I just got finished interviewing a good friend of mine, a dope artist. Just got finished interviewing them, talking to him about his journey and how music brought him through. And just periodically throughout the time, you're going to see some interviews that pop up of people that are close to me, and also that people that have a story about what music brings them through. So if you're interested, if you have a story about how music is bringing you through, how it's helping you out, definitely hit me up on my DM. You can hit me up on itsthegroovement.com. You can hit me up on my email account, which is it's djdub@gmail.com. You can, reach out to me so we could talk about it, have some good conversations. Just got a couple questions that I asked. It's not too deep, not too crazy. It just all involves with music, and then just giving people a deeper understanding of what music can do and how it can help you as a person, and how it can help other people, push themselves to the next level in life. So definitely, I want you guys to definitely invest your time and your message, because your story can help someone else's. You just never know. Your music, your story can help other people, right? So with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, and I hope you're gonna have a good week. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Justin Bieber, man. Justin Bieber's new album called Freedom. First of all, Justin Bieber, he's definitely a fan favorite of everybody's. He's a pop artist, which now he's not calling himself a pop artist, but he's definitely a pop artist to most. He's a pop artist. He was definitely one of those kids. Everybody know the song Baby, right? The song Baby, Baby, Baby. Like everybody knows him for that song. And then some other songs that came out. He was born March 1st, 1994. So he is 27 years old. He loves to play the drums, the piano, keyboard, guitar. He also recently just got married 3 years ago, to his wife, Hailey Bieber. So, congratulations to him. Again, this is nothing knocking Justin Bieber or nothing. It's just his journey that he's in is really interesting. He's also a Canadian rapper. I didn't realize that he was Canadian. So just to know that is pretty dope. Also, Justin Bieber, he was signed to RBMG Records in 2008 with Bieber's debut in EP My World, released in late 2009. That wasn't too long ago, y'all. That wasn't too long ago. But just to know that he was always on the 100 Billboard charts for a long time. He was very recognized as a child. He was very recognized as a kid growing up. That it can hurt you. Just like everybody, Chris Brown, other artists, they came into the game so young. So by them being so young, they had a lot to endure, and they had a lot of challenges that they probably still facing right now in this day and age. But as you get older, you start to understand some things, you start to see some things, you start to realize some things that pretty much put you in a different perspective of life. So I think with this album here, I think that's what he's trying to do. Um, you see with Kanye West, you see with other artists, you see them trying to really push themselves as artists, and also letting people know that God is the center of their life too. And they have some challenges, right? They have a lot of challenges as artists because they have millions and millions and millions of people that are trying to show them different, right? Because if you come out as one artist, if you come out as a pop artist, and you come out with different artists like the Migos, you come out with DJ Khaled, and you come out with all these other artists, then you whatever artist that you attach to, you gain their audience, if that makes sense, right? So if Justin Bieber was a pop star, he'd been a pop star, and he started doing collaborative work with Migos or DJ Khaled or any of these people, then now DJ Khaled's audience is gonna gravitate to Justin Bieber. The Migos is gonna gravitate to him. Chance the Rapper's audience is gonna gravitate to Justin Bieber. So it's not always just him. It's always the people that he's around. So just like with us in life, like it's not just our people that we always around. So if we end up collabing with somebody else, that's why in social media, a lot of people like to collaborate with different people. You know, a lot of people like to give interviews or give stories to different people, but they really do it because they want to grab that audience that they have, right? So that's why you see the people numbers go up, artist numbers go up, because they look at these artists and they get interviewed by other artists, and they're like, oh wait, the audience that was with that artist, they see, man, let me go check in with Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying? Let me go see what Justin Bieber is really about, because he sounds dope on an interview, but let me go see what he's about. But that goes to show, like, all of Migos crowd is gonna go to Justin Bieber. So now, if Justin Bieber is really basically trying to focus on God at this moment, Justin Bieber now got a job to do, right? So Justin Bieber is really focused on God, and God is the center of his attention and things like that. And he really want to come out with an album, and he really want to be focused with God. The Migos of the world, the DJ Khaled's of the world, the Drakes of the world is gonna look at Justin Bieber like, yo, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Because this is not who you were in the beginning. Like you like I was your fan because you collaborated with Drake. I was your fan because you collaborated with DJ Khaled. I was your fan because you collaborated with Migos. I'm your fan because you collaborated with this person and that person. That's why I'm your fan. So now, if you wasn't a true fan of Justin Bieber, then you really don't know anything about him. That's what I had to understand. If you don't know anything about Justin Bieber, and you wasn't his fan from the beginning, it's going to be kind of hard for you to gravitate. One thing I learned off this album is, like, he's really talk about life lessons, like life problems. He's really digging into life issues. He's really tapped into that. He's really talking about life issues. He's talking about himself. He's talking about how he's struggling back and forth with his relationship with God. He's talking about the situations that he dealt with as a kid growing up. Yeah, don't get me wrong. He just came out with an album, 3 weeks ago, called Justice. So, I haven't heard that album yet, but just to hear from different people's reactions of it and different interviews that he was on, like, people were saying the same thing. Like, he was doing it. He did this, and his main focus was on his relationship with God. Like, his main focus was on his relationship with his wife, his relationship with the people that was around him. But a lot of people was going to take it a different way, because you think about it, you listening to this album Freedom, and he's talking a lot about his relationship with God, but it's like, but you're cursing in the next track, right? You cursing in the next track. You talking about in your past album with a song called Peaches, you talk about getting the best weed, you talk about getting the best drinks, you getting the best this and you getting the best that, but you also focusing on God. So that can be confusing to the audience that deals with either religion or relationships, right? So if a person that's strictly religion, they're not going to tune into what he's saying, because to be honest, as a Christian, smoking weed is not a thing. Like, all this other stuff that the other artists do, It's not a thing for as a religionary person. You know what I'm saying? So if you're focused on that religion, then that's not gonna be for you. But I feel like at the end of the day, my personal opinion, if he's really doing it and he's also bringing and he's giving God the glory at the end of the day, and he's also bringing people attention to God, I think it's amazing, man. I think it's amazing what he's doing. His album is actually fire. His album is fire. I definitely give him like I definitely look at what he do as an artist. I look at what he does as an artist. I look at what he does as a person. I look at what he does now as a husband. I look at what he does now as an individual and just how he speaks. Like they say, he draws people in, right? He draws people in, which is so dope. Like he's able to draw people in, and also he able to look at people and understand where people come from because he's been there. So that's what you're gonna hear off this album. You're gonna hear a lot of like things that he's been through personally, where a lot of people, don't speak on. A lot of artists that don't speak on. He reminds me definitely so much of Chance the Rapper. So I think that his song "Holy" with Chance the Rapper is dope because, Chance the Rapper is the same way. Chance the Rapper has his relationship with God, but he still do his own thing. But he still also let people know like God is still a part of my life. You know what I mean? So again, if you are religious, then this album might not be for you. If you strictly religion and you strictly this is where you at with it, and you're not gonna open your ears or open up your mind to anything that other artists have to say, as far as their gifts and talents to draw others to God, then it's not gonna be that song or the album is not gonna be for you. The album is not gonna be for you at all. So with that being said, I just want to stop real quick and give a shout out to all of the artists. Give a shout out to all of the people that are creating, all of the people that are telling their story, right? Telling their story, that they're allowing their story to get them through. To know that music is getting Justin Bieber through. Justin Bieber's going through a lot. He's been through a lot. He actually said he feels good about the space that he's in right now. He feels really comfortable. He feels really good about the space that he's in. So to know that he's in a great space and this is something that he wants to do is amazing. So I'm glad that music is getting him through and music is pushing him through. That he's that he's able to do what he wants, and not feel any guilt or any backlash or anything about it. So just to know that music is getting him through, getting Justin Bieber through, and he's again, if it's all glory to God at the end of the day. So if he's giving his glory to God personally, and he's finding out his personal relationship and how to address that through an album, I think it's dope. Just like, we got to give credit to, Kanye. We got to give credit to a lot of these artists that's actually battling, but they're also talking about their battles, right? A lot of people are battling, but they're not saying anything about it. You know what I mean? So they're going through their own personal challenges, but they're not telling their story. So other artists can't relate, or other people can't relate to what they're doing because they're not telling their story. So one thing I'm noticing with Justin Bieber and watching and what he's doing and listening to his interviews and listening to his songs and things like that, I'm really understanding like he's really telling his story in his album, but he's also telling the things that he's been through in his music. Like he's letting the music story tell for him, if that makes sense. He's letting music tell a story for him. Boom. He's letting music tell a story for him, right? So the fact that he's letting music talk for him, it helps the DJ, right? It helps the DJ. It helps it helps this generation, right? And I'm gonna go left real quick. But I'm gonna stay on topic. Just like the situation with everybody didn't like, if anybody know Mike Todd, right? Pastor Mike Todd. A lot of people will talk about Pastor Mike Todd, like how he talks to the people, right? I like how he talks to the people. A lot of people don't like the way Mike Todd preaches, because he has all these props. He be bumping secular music on stage. He be playing Beyonce. He be playing all of these other artists at the church. But also too, that's what brings the generation in. But if you completely going left about things and you completely going left to where you're not like you're mocking God, then that's a problem. If you ain't mocking him, then you know let it be, because this was what this generation need. With me, I gravitated to Mike Todd because the way he does things in such simplest forms, and I'm a visual guy. So also he's a visual guy too. So know that all of his visuals is part of that. He can talk, he can speak, he can preach and have visuals, and people can really understand in the simplest forms. I think this is what Justin Bieber is doing with his album. It's like he's really tapping into his inner self, and he's giving his generation in the simplest forms. Like this generation is so quick and so microwave with stuff that he's really trying to stop you from what you're doing. He literally like that. The album stopped me from what I was doing to really understand and really listen to what he was saying, to where I literally had to put headphones on and listen to the album and listen to what he was saying, because you can hear a person's story within their music. All right. It's at the end of the day, God is chasing after all of us, and there comes a point where all we can do is acknowledge it. That's a fact. Absolutely. Faith said album is literally on repeat. I've listened to it once, and I was already like, yo, I can't wait to do this episode. And I love what he's doing. I love what he's doing. I really do. I love what he's doing with this album. Like, don't get me wrong. His last album, people were saying how he was doing all this cursing on the album. He was doing this and doing that. But again, we all like his song Holy. He said, I heard about sinners. He said, I heard about sinners, but he's not a saint. That's what he said. He said he heard about sinners, but he's not a saint. So that just goes to show he's not the Almighty, right? He's not a saint, but he's also saying he's also ain't God either. So don't be judgy on him, or don't look at him in a certain way or a certain field. Like, be there for him, and I'm there for him. You know, he's one of those guys where you just got to continue to pray that God continues to speak to him. That's it. And he said it like he just a person that's going through the motions. He's a person that's going through his journey. He's a person that's going through his process in life, that he really now is in a space where he can really talk about it. If you check out his interviews that he did online, he had a docu-series. He had a full episodes. I think he had like 10 or more episodes that he canceled his tour. He canceled his tour in order for him to, I think they said they can't cancel his tour for COVID, due to COVID. And he ended up having a camera crew in his house for 8 months. So he had a camera crew in his house for 8 months to record him for 8 months, doing pretty much quarantining for 8 months. So, and they put it all on video. So just to look at the stuff that he was doing with his wife, just look at the stuff that he was doing with his family. Of course, a lot of people are going to say, well, he did it for the cameras. But you know when a person is doing the right thing. You know when a person is doing it for the right purpose and for the right reason. You can definitely tell when a person is not doing it for the cameras. And I feel like he wasn't doing it for the cameras at all. He did it because he definitely came a long way, Faith. He came a long way. Shatora said, yeah, this album is fire, and so 100. Yeah, it is. The album is dope. The album is dope. Also, another thing too that I realized is Chandler Moore. He has Chandler Moore on there. He has Tori Kelly on there, right? So Chandler Moore, if you don't know Chandler Moore, Maverick City Music. That's all I gotta say. Maverick City Music. So where, man, those songs right there alone is powerful. So for Chandler Moore to be on there and for him to collaborate with Justin Bieber is so dope. Just to know how Justin Bieber is so, he's tapped in and he know how dope Chandler Moore is and how great he is far as this generation. Again, that's what you do is you want to tap into this generation that's trying to seek God and trying to help, and the people that aren't perfect, the generation of kids that aren't perfect, generation of teenagers that aren't perfect. You want to tap into them and help them, understand better of who God is. And I think this is what Justin Bieber is doing on this album. Like he's really trying to reach this generation, but also let this generation know that, like be, seek God first, you know what I'm saying? And then let him help you out. Real quick, let me go to his album real quick. Let me go to his album so we can. So his album Freedom, right? Um, it was released. It was released, and you can check it out on all streaming platforms. You can check it out on streaming platforms. You can check it out. Let me check. I want to check something out real quick. And he released it on Easter. So that was one of the crazy parts too. He released it. He released it on Easter. So he just had an album called Justice, and then he released it. He released it on Easter. So it was quartet by top 40 hits on the Billboard Hot 100 Songs chart. Holy featuring Chance the Rapper was number 3 on the Billboard. Uncle was number 12, and Anyone was number 6, and Hold On was number 26. Right, so that just goes to show, as far as the Billboard chart, he did really, really good with the Billboard charts. But he also has his own. He has his own feeling of how he wants to do things. He has his own feeling on how he wants to help this generation evolve. He's doing a lot where he can build, where they don't have to keep tapping into religion. They don't have to keep tapping into the fear of who's gonna help me, or who's gonna help me with this, who's gonna help me with that, or who, if is it okay to say this? Is it okay to say that? Like, he really doesn't have to worry about that. Everybody asking him so many questions. Is there's things that he have to worry about? Aspire to Thrive said, I wrote a song called That I Share a Story about my journey up to that point in my life, speaking about what God did, and I would be honored if you played it sometime. It's called Down in the Dirty. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Down in the Dirty. I'm gonna check it out. Also too, I definitely want to get you on if you want to talk about your music and how music gets you through. Send me a direct message so we can have a little chat and interview process. Is going to go on to, YouTube and these other streaming platforms. So if that's something that you were interested in, man, just let me know. And I would love to, we can sit down and talk about it and have a conversation about it for sure. This episode was brought to you by Music Get You Through. Music Get You Through t-shirts. Get your message today. Wear your message, your Group by Faith message. What's your Group by Faith story? Get you your Group by Faith t-shirt. But just be on the lookout, man. Be on the lookout for Music Gets Me Through. It's Tone. Oh, what up, Tone? What up, Tone? Yeah, I can't really see the profile picture. But what's going on, Tone? What's up, brother? Well, yeah, I definitely got to get you on then, Tone. I got to get you on, Tone. But yeah, just to know, y'all, real quick, just know, and I went off track, but just know that when it comes down to your music, right? When it comes down to the music that you listen to, or when it comes down to these artists, like really study these artists, right? Really get to these artists, really understand these artists, really understand what these artists are saying, really understand what these artists are trying to bring to you and bring to your ears and bring to your life. Understand what these artists are really trying to bring to your attention. If the artist is switching over, artist is switching over to a different genre or different field, you got to pay attention to that. If an artist is collaborating with different artists that you didn't expect, or you gotta pay attention to that. You know what I mean? You are the audience for a reason. You are their fans for a reason, right? You talk to them for a reason. You ask them questions. You're giving them your opinion for a reason. And I was mentioning earlier is like the A-list are at the A-list level for a reason, right? A-list are at an A-list level for a reason. Why is that? Because the C-list people go through stuff. The C-list go through struggles. The B-list go through struggles. So in order for the A-list to keep staying at the A-list, they got to keep listening to the C-list people, right? So if you got to listen to an A-list celebrity, right, they got to listen to the B-list and the C-list understanding or perspective, right? Or they got to also listen to. You also got to listen to the bottom where the C's are. They're the ones that's struggling. They're the ones that's struggling. They're the one that needs our attention, right? So for stream purposes. So the reason why they get a lot of streams is because us C-list people. We have our struggles. So hey, look, we gotta listen to these people. We gotta listen to the A-list celebrities in order for us to get through our struggles. So in order for them to stay where they at, we got to keep streaming, right? We got to be honest. In order for them to stay where they at, we got to keep streaming. Our B list, we got to keep streaming in order for us to stay where we at. All right. So I just wanted to get on here. That's the message for tonight. That's the talk to me message. Is in order for A-list to stay at A-list, it got to be a C-list to go through. To go through a struggle, to go through a bad time, to go through a good time. It depends on what type of artist you're listening to. If you're listening to a artist that's going to get you through depression, then you're going to need that. If you're going to listen to an A-list artist that's going to get you through, a gym session, you're going to need that. But these A-lists is going to need us C-list people to keep their streams up, to keep their builds up. So that means you have to invest in the artist, right? You're investing in the artist by giving them your attention, by giving them money, because you got to pay to listen to, or you got to stream to listen to what they give out. So if they switch, or if they go a different direction, or if they move a certain way and it's not into your liking, you got to research that. You got to look into that. Like, don't judge the person. Just look at like where they going, where they flowing. And that's kind of what I did. Instead of me saying, you know what, I'm gonna get on here and just talk about Justin Bieber and then just judge him. Like, why you creating a Christian album? Why are you creating a gospel album out of nowhere? Why you dropped it on Easter? Why you thought this was okay? Like, instead of me doing that, I really did my homework and started like listening to the things that he was saying in interviews, and really started listening to the things that he was saying to people. And also the battles that he faces as a person, because none of us is perfect. None of us is perfect, but he also did say that as well. He's not perfect, but he still go through some challenges. He do go through some scares, in his life where it's mentally where he breaks down. Anxiety still kicks in. A lot of things still kicks in, and that's stuff that we go through. That's stuff that we go through. So for us to be judgmental on that, we go through the same exact stuff. But we want people like Justin Bieber's of the world to give us these type of stories, to know that we're not alone, and that we can go through that just as much, and we can go through things just as much. So that's why I really, as a DJ, be selective with the music that I listen to. I be selective with the artists that I play on my DJ set. I just don't play every artist, because I want to listen to the people that's going to help change the world. To be honest, I didn't listen to Justin Bieber the past year and a half, the past 2 years. I wasn't playing any Justin Bieber. Right. I think the last song I played was "I'm the One" with DJ Khaled, and that was like 2.5 years ago. But after that, I really haven't listened to Justin Bieber. But now to know that he's going through a story, and he's going through a phase, and he's going through a journey and a process, now I get to really understand. So now I can play his songs, but to know that, okay, there's a message behind the songs that he's playing, or the songs that he's singing. There's a message behind it. He's in a whole different space now. He's in a whole different light. Like, yeah, we still listen to these artists that curse and smoke and drink and all this other stuff, but all of us ain't, we all human. We all human. Again, if you're religious, you ain't gonna like it. If you're religious, you ain't gonna like the fact that he's doing what he's doing. You ain't gonna like it. If you're religious, you ain't gonna like the fact that he created a Christian album on Easter. You ain't gonna like the fact that all of a sudden now he just this Christian guy. Like, that's why nobody really likes Justin Bieber the way they do. I mean, Kanye West the way they do. You know what I'm saying? Get Chance the Rapper's the same way. They all the same way. They all want to be artists, but they all want to be human at the same time. They want to be artists, but they want to be artists. They want to be artists, but they also want to be human, and they want to let other people know they can be human. But it's up to us to listen to these artists and dig deep with these artists. All right. So this is D Dub. I just wanted to say that. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for stopping by, listening to me, talk about this and break this thing down. Please go ahead and listen to the album, Justin Bieber's album, Freedom. Go check it out. Go listen to it on all platforms. It's only 6. It's only 6 tracks. Amazing songs, some good songs. Let me know what you think about it. If you think it's dope, do me a favor, hit me up on the DM, or send me a message or tag me in your story if you're listening to Justin Bieber's new album. Tag me in your story. Let me know if it's hot or not. And we go from there. All right. Again, get your Groove by Faith tees at instagroovement.com/shop. Also, if you want to listen to any of the DJ mixes that I've made recently, you can go on mixcloud.com/DJDDub514. That's where I'm at, where you can listen to all the groovy mixes that I made. Also, don't forget to tap in and look out for the Music Gets Me Through series. Coming out with that series really soon. Again, I just had an interview with a good close friend of mine, and she's dope artist, dope person. So that's about to come out really soon. So again, if you have a story where music is getting you through, or if you're an artist, or if you're a person that loves music and is helping you get through your any trying times or any times period, make sure you hit me up and we'll talk about it. All right. Yeah, have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your night. Again, it's your boy DJ D Dub, the Groovement, the smoothest DJ, the one of the dopest inspirational and motivational DJs out here in the land. And that's it. That's all. Says the clock on the wall. Shout out to my friend Val. All right, y'all. Be good. Peace.